Noir is this kid who has a useless skill that causes him constant migraines. After losing his job, he stumbled upon a secret dungeon where he gained a cheat skill that made him overpowered. What's the catch, you may ask? He has to constantly level up his abilities by seeking pleasure from some thick Latina baddies. Dungeons are said to be full of adventure in this world. Some are at the bottom of the deep blue sea, some are floating in the air, some are like lighthouses in the middle of the sea. Someone must be very adventurous to get to these. We see a young lad who's treading carefully in a cave dungeon because, of course, his life is on the line. Even though it's him that carried his 2 legs into the dungeon, he hears a voice call out to him, a female voice, telling him to come to the 2nd floor. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but right about now, my boy who looks like Sid Cagino from Eminence in Shadow should make his way back home. Seeing that he's not Lord Shadow, he's too young to die now. But alas, who's an adventurer without taking an adventure? He heeds to the voice and heads to her. He opens a door and boom! Whoa, wait, it's a lie. It's a bloody stupid lie. She's a damsel, all right. But she don't look like she's in distress, although her hands and feet are chained. Handsome young Shadow lookalike wakes up and introduces himself as Noir Stardia, son of a 3rd noble. He just finished preparatory school and had decided to pursue a career. It was supposed to be his first day on the job, but due to the fact that his father is a baronet, the lowest in the aristocrat society, the son of the Viscount, which is way up the aristocrat society, has robbed him of his job. His little sister Alice consoled him and tells him to participate in the Hero Academy exams. He steps out, and jiggle, she goes by the name Emma Brightness, but I see why she's so bright. Emma was so heartbroken to hear that Noir already lost his job. She was so eager to work with him. Noir has a skill called Great Sage. It's basically a voice in his head, like your conscience, but unlike yours, his is saint, while yours is just filthy. The problem is, whenever he uses the Great Sage, the after effect is an overwhelming headache. Emma told him that she's found a way that might help me cure the effect of using the Great Sage. She says a quote that sounds like something Merlin something kisses from his wives. Neuer is intrigued and wants to try it out. They've been childhood friends. It's clear that they love themselves. He makes advances for the kiss, but she stops him and tells him they should go to a better place. There's something wrong there, but let's move on. She takes him to an even more romantic place, the top of a building. Pant. They go again at the kissing thing, but wasn't he supposed to call on the Great Sage first? Or they had to run a quick lip sync test. He calls on the Great Sage after their lips test run. Noir inquires on how he'll get stronger. The sage directs him to a dungeon not far from town. He immediately gets the striking headache and calls for a kiss, and just like that, they're consummating a serious childhood friendship. He notices that his headache declines. He separates from her a little, but nah, they just go at it again. Noir finds his way into the cave dungeon. He was the one a while ago who answered to a call from the voice in the dungeon. She's beautiful, all right, perky and all those things. She told him to touch her head. She used that to introduce Self as Olivia's servant, a super awesome adventurer who got stuck here after defeating a monster man tripping off a trap that is held here there for 200 years. Noir offers to immediately cut the chain off, but Olivia informs him that if he does that, she's gonna die. He wonders why then did she call him here. She said she's been bored, and I would probably have groped me some by now. He explains to her his reason for coming into the dungeon. She tells him to bump his head into hers, and just like that, she gave him her powers. She explains her powers to be the power of creation, get creative, the power to bestow whatever he created on someone, bestow, and the power to edit. Editor explains to him that he'll need LP, life points, to use his skills. LP can be gotten from sexual pleasure or simply doing something that makes you feel like you've achieved a dream too. He goes out into the dungeon again and encounters a slime this time. He uses Get to Creative a flying boulder, and that's all he can manage for today. He sets back home, and this pedo uses his sister to gain LP. Emma and Noir meet up, and damn, what is that dress, and damn. Look at those cleavages. Emma yaps about how special today is and how annoying it's been that everyone has been staring down her chest. Lol, she got me there too. Noir just came here to use her to the best of his interest. I know he loves it too, but he does really need the LP. Olivia had told him about a skill called Sickening Eye, which would be rather very effective for the entrance exam to Hero Academy. He gets up and this man, I don't know what to call this goat, he uses his The Editor skill to lessen her breasts to nothing, just because she said she had a stiff neck. Please guys, lesson for today. If she's got big boobs and she's got a stiff neck, Please don't take away her boobs, massage her stomach, please. He restored the glory he took from her. Noir goes to the entrance exam and his ass is rejected in every attempt for a team-up because he's a baronet, the lowest of the low in hierarchy. The participants were told to team up and gather materials before the next day. Just as Noir was about to wallow in rejection, a certain light called Brightness Emma showed up for him, and she put his hands between her brightness. Another person asked to team up with them, but she's of a higher class than them both, so she trashed them and takes her leave, saying they shouldn't drag their team down. Noir tells Emma to chill, that he's gonna gather the materials they need. He runs to the dungeon in search for materials, but unfortunately his first encounter was with the a-hole Ripper. He maneuvers his way, dodging its attacks. The foolish boy tries to erase one of the Ripper's skill, but the amount there, it's gonna cost him his life. He uses skill heavy and bestowed it upon the Ripper. Noir immediately felt ill and gave himself moral to run up and take down the Ripper. He uses skill of Flying Boulder to kill it, leaving its skull behind. The next day that the entrance result call out, Noir and his team came first with a phenomenal score of 128,000 points. Noir rushes him in happiness and tells everyone, which lightens up the atmosphere at home. But that happiness is short-lived as he encounters the enrollment fee. In light of the great news of Noir's entrance exam, the house is a little bit lightened, with his sister fondling him with so much incest-full lust. He tells his father that he'll need some money for enrollment fee, and with the confidence that he answered with, "You'd think the man actually has it," but it all boils down to Noir finding a means. Noir goes to the next option, which is Olivia. Olivia tells him to hunt a few monsters and sell it for money, but Noir explains that he does not want to draw much attention to himself. Even the Ripper he killed, the higher-ranking girl in the team, he asked her to take credit for it, and in shamelessness, she accepted. Olivia tells him to join a guild, and he heads right there immediately. As he steps in, a presence like a tiger waiting to devour prey, as soon as possible, was standing over Noir. The receptionist tells the tiger to wait till his turn. The receptionist introduces herself as Alola. She explains the whole system of the guild, that some botanist adventurers go about looking for plants. I don't know why an adventurer of a guild is looking for plant. Then the original guild adventurers go lulling beasts and scouring dungeons. There's always a rank system, and starting off you'll be at the lowest, and with consistency you'll make it up easily. She gives him a paper to write down his skills. He puts down the skills which were given to him by his master, and this pisses the receptionist off. Olivia used to be a prominent, big-time adventurer in the guild. So the guild gets fake sign-ups as Olivia. Subsequently, she gets in a state, and she looks like she's about to throw some good moves and send Noir flying out of the place. But no, she pulls out one of these power testing books. She expects him to back down seeing the book, but he asked her to go on ahead with it. He asks her what's in it for him if he's telling the truth. She said it with her own lips that she'll pull up her skirt and apologize. Noir puts his hand on the book, and there it was, the list of his skills. Now it's time to fulfill the agreement. She lifts up her skirt, damn, and said what she got to say. She gives him a quest, because he requested for one. He set out to find something called rainbow grasshoppers that grow in a specific area. He gets there, and now he needs the help of Great Sage, but there's no Emma to take away his pain with kisses. He then gets a good idea to use creative skill to create immunity to the pain that comes after using Great Sage. It was pricey, but what choice does he have? He uses the Great Sage skill to get the exact location of the rainbow grasshoppers. He finds one easily. He thinks to himself how wonderful it would be to have Emma with him right now, to kiss away this pestering headache. And before he could even finish his line of thoughts, Emma rushes in from nowhere with her fist clenched. She swings it at Noir, who dodged it like he's got spidey senses. He gazes at her boobs as they land on his face as they both fall. Emma is pissed that he didn't inform her about joining the guild. She had to go through several channels just to get to him. Women, talk about entitlement, one little kiss away the pain session that she brought up. Now she's feeling entitled. He tells her about the immunity he created for the headaches, but he'll still need little kisses, and they go at it without hesitation. I'm beginning to want to make out with my girl now. What's all this temptation? They return with the grasshoppers they found, and its reward was a whopping sum of 250,000 reals. Even I'm amazed by how much just grasshoppers could fetch. He speaks to him sweetly, telling him she's got another quest, rubbing his shoulder against her boobs, while Emma was right there. Emma bangs the table abs, ascertain her stance, saying she's been in his life and wants to become an adventurer, so she'd be with him always. See the two of them charged up like Goku and Vegeta who never see eye to eye. It's becoming a spectacle. Everyone gathered to watch a fight. But Noir cools everything off with a few words. Emma and Noir are attacked by two goblins of the same level as Emma, so they 2v2 the situation, but were interrupted by a huge rabbit which was their original quest. Emma is determined to take down the rabbit alone so that the reception does not drool over Noir for doing all the work. She charges in and damn, look at those moves, look at her. Swerving in the air like an air nomad, but unfortunately all her strikes do not hurt the rabbit. It jumps into the air mid-attack and charges towards Emma. Immediately it hits the ground. Noir uses flying boulder skill to send it flying. They abscond into the woods. Emma sulks over the fact that she couldn't do anything. Noir comes up with a great idea to increase her powers, but he'll need to do some freaky to increase his LP. He tells her about it and she agrees. He gets up and begins to nibble her ear and bro, what is this sound? What is this leg movement? Where is my babe? Oh wait, let me call her. So where were we? At this joyful moment, the rabbit appeared. Emma was about to get off because these sounds are about to run me into round 2. Noir notices the rabbit behind them and covers Emma's mouth. He adds a little vigorous tonguing into the process, and as soon as he gets that LP increase, the rabbit smashed through the tree that we're standing at. It charges at Noir, who uses a boulder to stop it at the nick of time. He uses this opportunity to upgrade Emma, who swoops in and saves his ass with one slash. They arrive back that guild. Emma thanked Lola for the quest because it gave her a boost. In lights of the information he heard about the rabbit being very delicious, he used a skill to keep the body of the rabbit. He undid the skill, and the rabbit was right there on the floor. Did I mention that it was an unusual rabbit with 3 horns? Lol, my bad. Everyone in the guild dined and wined tonight. Noir saw someone who looked like his master. That's when he remembered who made all this possible, so he decided to go see her soon. Emma and Noir head to the academy. While discussing, Emma quickly turns and tells him to bow his head. A princess with 2 guards pass by, as if she didn't know that they were bowing to her. Emma says she's the daughter of the Duke, Maria Fianna Albert. She was there at the entrance exam. Noir decides to use the discerning eye to see her specs, but to his, yours, mine, and everyone's surprise except the writer, she had a curse on her that was gonna kill her on her 16th birthday. Noir wakes up with his incestful sister laying in his bed. She sure likes to be close. She's wishing him the best of luck in his new school with hugs. Their father opens the door in the middle of the hug and peacefully locks it back. What can a father do about this? Emma and Noir stroll to school together. Emma stops him for their usual morning greeting. It's now a regularly business. They go in the woods so they covering of the trees would hide them, and they go at it passionately. They arrive in school, and of course it's the first day of school. You'd be nervous. Emma and Noir are in the same class. As soon as they open the door, the room was flooded with awkwardness. They greet everyone and walk in. They totally disregard Noir, and the guys rush to sway Emma. Remember the girl that took the glory for the skull of the Ripper? She swooped in as those guys were swooning over Emma. She told Noir not to talk to her since the whole class thinks she's the one that killed the Ripper. Maria is also in this class. She walks in and greets a few people. And she proceeded to do something that put the whole class in disarray. She greets Noir like an equal. And boom, everyone gasped, like Jesus just turned water into wine. Emma and Noir are both perplexed that Maria knows their names and actually had a word with them. The class was out for a practical class. I understand the beautiful intro she and vibe she's giving, standing on a stick like it's a platform, but saying she was in the mercenary till she became a teacher at 7 till she's 24. She goes by the name Elna Stong. She gets down her stick to demonstrate something to the class, and of course she calls on Noir. She tells him to charge at her with his sword. He's concerned, so he checked her stats, and she's comfortably 200 levels above him. He charges in, swings his sword, and successfully cuts her after image. She uses a technique called backstep, which is what she'll be teaching the class today. She tells him to ready himself, but before he could take a stance, she comes in from nowhere and hits him on his stomach. He struggles, but gets up. She's called the Demon Instructor, but nah, she's the demon. She promises that whoever successfully evades her attack using backstep will get something naughty from her. Noir was still contemplating on how to use Get Creative to create a skill for it. She charges in, and just at the nick of time, it was ready and he used it. The whole class was in shock. Normally he was supposed to give a badass look, but see how plain his face was. You need to see the look on the teacher's face. How about that reward? Whoa, did not see that coming. She's grinding him in the middle of the class. He's not enjoying it though. He tries to complain. Ha, lol. Look at Emma's face. She sits on his face after a long, hard grind. The guys rush it to ask how it felt, in all jealousy that he was the only one who could use the backstep effectively. Elna announces that it's time for a new lesson. She tells the class to pair up in twos. She walks up to Emma and Noir telling them they can't be together because they're dating. They deny the saying they're just close friends, who are Bush doing the morning greeting here and there. She doesn't agree still. She moves to Maria and her attendant and said they can't pair up too. Immediately she split Maria and her attendant. Some other Duke's self-righteous son comes over to ask Maria to team with him because they're children of Dukes. She declines though, gives a speech and asks Noir to team up with her. Emma would react of course, where me, I have problem now is, why is his little sister, the incest lust one, getting a feeling that he's with another girl? I hope they don't marry sisters here. For the next exercise, you're to throw your partner around for a while, then switch. Noir allows Maria to throw him first. He quickly equips himself with a little passive defense skill. Immediately she throws him on the floor. She loses breath and Noir is blessed for the second time today. Maria's attendant, Amane, rushed in. Elna told her to take a breather for a while. Noir wonders if it's because of the curse. He uses discerning eye to determine the cost to remove it from her, and my, oh my, that would cost 3 to 4 lives right now. He calls on Great Sage to tell him how to get enough LP. It literally tells him to line up all the girls and run up touching their breasts. And even in that, he still wouldn't get enough LP to do so. His head begins to hurt. He turns to Emma. In the middle of class, he goes for it. Elna makes him run laps around the school because of that. Lola didn't expect to see him today, so as soon as he walked in through the guild door, she runs in to fix her makeup. Seated on a table, they fill Lola in on what's going on. Lola informs them about a cleric who's her friend, Cleric Luna, someone she trusts. My Riz demons. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe and check out one of these 2 other videos. Also, if you want to get that shredded anime physique, click the link in the description below.